Pay attention to your hands. Think of your hands pushing your chest up and your hands controlling it on the way down. So if you get distracted, back to your hands, back to your movement, and back to the breathing. And some of you will need a pillow between your hips and your legs. You're gonna go into a modified child's pose. So butt to your heels. This should be pretty relaxing. So if you're stiff, you might wanna put something underneath. Head goes on the ground, palms go up, and you're gonna reach your shoulders towards the ground. So you're literally spreading your upper back apart. Head relaxed, and just breathe in through the nose. Full breath out. So you're really picturing your whole upper back and low back expanding with air. And head is relaxed, shoulders towards the ground. And you'll start noticing you can really use breathing to stretch things out. So just picture your low back filling up with air, upper back filling up with air, and then your arms are relaxing down towards the ground. It might feel a little stiff, but I want you to notice the difference between the first round and then the last round. And then you can modify for yourself to make it a little more comfortable by putting pillows between your hips and your heels, pillow on the ground for your head. And then now you're gonna go into a lat stretch. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring your left arm towards your knee, and then you're gonna reach your right arm across the yoga mat, but it's gonna be leveled by your left arm or by your left arm. And then you're gonna feel stretch from your shoulders all the way down your hips or your lats. Full breath out. Inhale, stretch the whole right side with breathing. And you can pick your head up on this one. And I want you to picture deflating the left side of your body, inflating, stretching the whole right side of your body. Each inhale, the right side gets stretched out even more. And now take the right arm towards your knee and reach the left arm across. Now do the opposite. You're deflating the right side of your body and inflating the left. And you're stretching the whole left side by breathing in. And then you'll go back to all fours. Hands underneath your shoulders, slight tuck through your hips. Exhales, deflating the upper back. Full breath out, about 10 seconds. Inhale, push through all 10 fingers. Come up. Hold the top position for about a second. Exhale through your mouth. Think of breathing into your upper back as you push your chest up towards the ceiling. Each inhale, you push a little more. Now go back to your modified child's pose, butt to your heels, palms up, head relaxed. And just feel the whole upper back, low back expand as you push your shoulders towards the ground. Now left arm down, reach your right arm across, up and across. You want to make sure your hands aren't past each other. So your right hand should be right on top of the left. Yes, that's better. And fully exhale, just compress the left side of your body. Inhale, stretch the whole right side with a big breath in. The more you can exhale, the more you'll be able to inhale on the opposite side. And then take your right arm down, reach your left arm across, stretch the left side. And now you're going to deflate the right side of your body, inflate the left. And then your last round of all fours. This time you will not go down. So all fours, close your eyes. You're going to reach up towards the ceiling. Conscious effort of not using your neck, just your arms, just your fingers, and you're just going to stay there. Each exhale, you reach a little more. Each inhale, you reach a little more. And it's a constant push. Pay attention to the muscles working. Pay attention to your hands. Pay attention to where you're feeling your breath in go in. What parts of your rib cage. And without moving an inch, take your left arm, tap it on the right shoulder, and hold it. And breathe. Nothing moves. It's like both arms are still on the ground. You're still reaching. You're reaching with an imaginary arm. Keep the weight forward. And now switch. Don't let anything move. And now allow yourself to relax and go back to the modified child's pose. And let your shoulders just melt down to the ground. Head relax. Feel your whole back expand as you breathe in. And now take your left arm to your knee and then reach your right arm across and see how different it feels. Or does it feel any different? Is it less stiff? Are you able to expand more? See if you can get everything to expand from your shoulder all the way down your hip. Everything goes to the right. Now right arm down, left arm across. And rest. Awesome. And now we move on to the next three. Next one will be laying on your back. I would put your knees on top of your pillow so that way you're not completely straight. So the first part, the first part is just the exhaling. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put one hand on your chest by your ribs, underneath your chest, and then the other hand goes on your low belly by your hips, and you're gonna fully exhale through your mouth And both hands are going to be basically driving together because you're deflating everything in your body, and then hold for 5 seconds. So it should feel pretty uncomfortable. And when you breathe back in, you just let go, let your air come in through your nose. And then full breath out through your mouth. And then hold for 5 seconds. Pay attention to what it's like to be empty, and then inhale through your nose. So go ahead and get started. And what's driving the hands to come together is the exhale. So don't actively drive your ribs down. Don't actively brace. Let all of that happen because you're fully exhaling. So pay attention to your whole body deflating, and then what it feels like to be completely empty. And then let the breathing come in through your nose however it wants to come in. Let it be automatic. Each exhale, it's even longer. By the end of the exhale, you should feel a lot of tension. And if you don't, exhale even more. And just totally let go on the inhale. The more you can exhale, the more you'll be able to breathe back in. Hold on to that uncomfortable feeling of not breathing back in for 5 seconds. And the next one is a glute bridge. Little different than most glute bridges. And I let clients work with what they have. For me, for example, untucking my hips and arching my back like this feels totally fine. But I'm also an ex-gymnast and I love yoga. For some people that can be uncomfortable, so work with what you have. You untuck your hips and then you go the other way. You roll your hips until you go into a glute bridge without arching your back. And then you slowly go back down, untuck your hips, and then roll the hips back to the other side. So it's untucking and then tucking, slowly going into a glute bridge. You're rolling the hips up. You're not picking the hips up. So think one vertebrae at a time. And I encourage you to close your eyes and only pay attention to your hips rolling and your feet. Your feet are pushing, rolling your hips for you, and then controlling them on the way down. Each round, you tuck even more. Picture yourself peeling your hips slowly off the ground, one vertebrae at a time. And bring all the awareness to your feet and to your hips. Looks awesome. And take a break. Keep your feet there. Extend one knee and then bend it to get the stretch in your hamstring. You're going to go about 6 to 8 on each side. Nice and slow. Stretch your hamstring and back down. Stretch the hamstring and back down. And then switch sides if you haven't already. And then you'll go back to the exhaling with your legs straight, maybe something underneath your knees so it's more comfortable. And now everything is driven by your exhale. So hand underneath your chest, one hand on your low belly, and they come together because you're fully exhaling. And I can't hear you, but if you were not on mute, I should be able to hear the exhale. Okay, every inch of air out. And picture your whole body deflating. And hold for 5 seconds before you let your breath back in. In this round, I want you to pay attention to the tension that the full exhale caused. At the end of the exhale, you should feel tension. Pay attention to that before you breathe back in. Try to make the exhale a little longer. And then go back to your glute bridge with the untuck and tuck. And I want you to hold the top position for a few seconds. Pay attention to your feet. Pay attention to your glutes and hamstrings before you go back down. And I want you to go slow. As soon as people start to speed up, that's usually when they start to get distracted. So if you slow them down, it brings them back to their body. Think one vertebrae at a time, rolling up and rolling back down. And then back to the hamstring stretches, about 6 to 8 on each side. And do whatever feels good. And switch sides if you haven't already. And then back to the last round of exhaling. But this time you don't let go on the inhale. So at the end of the exhale, you should feel all this tension build up from exhaling. I want you to breathe underneath that tension. So instead of totally letting go, keep the tension that you just found, breathe underneath it. It should feel restricted. It should feel like you're not getting enough air in. And then continue to do the sequence. It's full breath out, hold for 5 seconds. And instead of letting go, hold on to the tension you found. and relax. Then you go back to the glute bridge. But instead of going up and down, go ahead and set up. You'll combine both of them. You're going to roll your hips slowly into your glute bridge. So one vertebrae at a time, start peeling your hips and don't come down. Once you find your top position, pay attention to your feet and give me the same breathing that you just did. The full breath out. And hold that position. Think because you're pushing into your feet, that's how you're able to hold your hips in that position, by keeping them up. And then come down for just a few seconds, relax. You'll go one more time. Slow peel up towards the ceiling, peeling the back pockets towards your heels. Once you find your spot where you feel slightly stuck, hold on to that position and breathe. And keep the top position. Pay attention to the muscles that you're feeling. Pay attention to your feet. Pay attention to your breathing. How many things can you hold on to at once with your attention? And relax. One more round of hamstring stretches. And switch sides. And then the next round, it is inverted quadruped tucking. So it's an inverted, less exaggerated cat-cow that you would see in yoga. So with yoga, or the regular cat-cow, the whole spine moves. What we want, since you understand what anatomy, like we want only sacrum. So with clients, I'll say tailbone. Like I want only the hips to do most of the motion. So you're gonna get on your elbows, and then you're gonna exhale, let the belly kind of sag a little bit, so you're untucking, and then inhale, think of only the tailbone doing most of the work, or only the sacrum tucking, so it's not the whole spine. And then exhale, control it, inhale, back pockets get pulled down towards your knees, and they tuck the tailbone. And then you're always keeping the reach through your arms. And keep the weight forward. Perfect. Exhale, untuck, let the belly come down. Inhale, think of only the sacrum, only the tailbone tucking. And Adrian, bring your elbows back a little bit. Perfect. Yes. And then shift the weight forward. And then reach a little bit. Yeah. Perfect. And then Heidi, you two elbows back a little bit. Yes. Now shift the weight forward. And now push through your arms. Yes, keep that the whole time. And exhales, you untuck the tailbone. Inhale, tailbone tucks between your legs. Think of the back pockets being pulled towards your knees. So you might feel some glutes on here. Perfect. And now we're going to go into half kneeling hold with a forward lean. So one knee up, one knee down. You're going to reach your hips back. So hinging back, from there, you're going to pull the back pocket down like you just did in that one exercise. So you should feel a little bit of glutes And you're gonna start pushing your front foot into the ground and hold like you're about to pick yourself up, but you don't. Arms are relaxed, and you're just reaching through the floor with the front foot, back pocket being pulled down, and hold that position. Yep, perfect. And then Adrian, shift the weight back. So your hip should be behind your knee. Yes. Unless it bothers you. Yeah. Perfect. Keep pushing down into the front foot. And then Max, you can have your chest come up a little higher. So you don't have to, yeah, perfect. And you keep pushing like you're about to pick yourself up. And relax, switch sides. And then Lacey, bring your front foot back more. Yes. Shift the weight back, pull the back pocket down like you did in the other exercise, and then start pushing into the front floor like you're about to pick yourself up. And pay attention to your feet. Pay attention to your front heel, your toes, your arch, your back knee. Pay attention to the muscles working. And relax. And back to all fours on your elbows. And see if you can tuck even more. Think of separating your hips from your low back. Then Ryan, get your elbows forward a little bit and then shift the weight forward. Yeah. You're always reaching through your arms, even on the exhale where your belly goes towards the ground. And then inhale, tuck the tailbone. Think of your low back expanding with air. Think of the back pockets doing all of the work. That's where all the motion is being driven by. Back pockets getting pulled down towards your knees, causing the tailbone to tuck. And then back to half kneeling. Shift the hips back a little bit. You don't have to have your chest all the way down, just a little bit. Back pocket gets pulled down. Push your front foot into the ground and hold that position. Close your eyes, pay attention to all the muscles working, the front foot working. Can you feel your heel? Can you feel your toes? Feel a quad stretch. And without shoving the hip forward, can you tuck the back pocket even more? And switch sides. And then shift the hips back. And then Adrian, what you could do is tall kneeling, 2 knees down, pull the back pocket down so you can still get the same quad, the same tucking. So get a little wider and then tuck the back pocket. Yes. And then back to the last round of quadruped tucking. And now I want your whole spine to move, but it's all driven by your hips. So you exhale, you're here, inhale, tuck the tailbone until everything else in your body moves. And then exhale, untuck the tailbone, tuck the tailbone until your whole body gets pulled up, whole upper back gets pulled up. Perfect. And your last round of half kneeling. Doing half kneeling like this can be pretty intense. If it's intense for you, keep it at that. If you want more, this time as you shift your hips back and tuck the back pocket, you're actually going to pick up the back knee and hold, get an ISO split squat hold. And really pay attention to what's holding you up. Pay attention to your front foot, pay attention to your hips staying in that spot. Awesome. And switch. Back pocket tuck. Pick yourself up, hold. Pay attention to your lower body. And relax. And we're on to our last one. We're going from effort to effortless movement. So this whole time, I would want you to feel muscles, feel things, pay attention to things. This time, you're going to go back to pelvic rocks, but I want it to be effortless, like so effortless you don't feel muscles working. So you won't go into a glute bridge. So this is just, I'm tucking the tailbone and then tucking. So you're just rocking the sacrum on the ground and you're going so slow, you barely feel anything moving. You go from your tailbone to off your tailbone. And then go very slow. Barely feel yourself moving. Make this as effortless as possible and pay attention to your hips. Now find a comfortable spot on the ground, so legs straight or legs how they are, and go back to your regular breathing. So go back to how you started and see how much more attention can you pay, how much more attention you can pay on your breathing and where it's going. Whenever you're ready, you'll start moving around. Nice job, guys. Everybody looked good. So you can unmute your, or maybe I need to unmute you. Any feedback? How do you feel?
Great.
Awesome. Yeah, how was that for you all?
Great.
Good.
Yeah, and that's it. We have it, and I have a bunch of like other moves that I've tried. So you can, if you've done breathing stuff in the past with your trainer or with your clients, you can see how that might make them move better. And it's a really good way to get people to be aware of their breathing, but it was never like, is this the right way to do it? Is this how it should always feel? So it's because being aware of your body is so beneficial, but you also don't want to induce like a fragile mindset of this is how it should always be. This is how it should always feel. So even the wording is just like, just being aware. That's all you're doing is paying attention. And when people are bad at it, I won't say you're bad at it. I will say we're trying to increase your body coordination. So you're coordinated or not coordinated versus you're bad and good mover, bad mover. I think not being coordinated doesn't really induce a fragile mindset. Any other feedback?
I liked it because I think most like stretching things people are doing right now are just cranking on, joints and really trying to feel like this aggressive stretch or whatever it may be. But this stretching, you still feel like you opened up, with the stretching and trying to get that across to like the people that we work with. Like you don't have to crank on the joint to feel looser, to just, to feel good and move better. And so I think this is like a solid way to approach it because you're subtly adding in like these stretches, but definitely opening up with the breath. And so I like that a lot.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I agree on the stretches.
I'll chime in. Lucy, I really appreciate how seamless this is with a lot of the stuff that we're trying to get clients to do in the gym with their hips or their upper back. Teaching it, in the normal context of trying to drive intensity or a training effect or trying to get somebody to expand their upper back in a push-up versus slowing down and paying attention here. Like this will end up integrating very nicely, and I'm sure you already know this, but make your job as a coach a lot easier when we need to teach these things in the gym.
100%. And two, if it's like a different service, like if you have someone teach this twice a week, it's a different mindset. They're not like, where's my workout? It's they literally came for this. But it also has taught me to teach the breathing when people do come in and train a little differently. Like now I let people exhale like 15, 20 times. Like just practice on the exhaling and then breathe however you want on the inhale and then keep practicing. So it has even taught me to slow down when I'm teaching someone how to onboard in our training. But yeah, you are right. If it's a different context, even the mentality is a little different when they come in. So they're more willing to pay attention and slow down.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll chime in too and say like for a lot of our athletes in the summer, we will have them come in pretty beat up and give them like recovery sessions. And in the past, I didn't really know where to refer. I'd go like 90-90s, hook lying, but that was about it. But that kind of opens up the toolbox for me a little bit. I think I messed up a few of those in the beginning, but caught on at the end there.
Cool. Yeah, and then I'll be doing these every Sunday, so you'll be able to get more and more. And then Max, were you saying something? I can't hear you. Anyone else want to chime in? Heidi, how was that for you?
It was great. I feel like pretty much everybody can work on this. Like they can afford to for sure. And the nice thing is all of our clients are taking this time to figure out all the other stuff that they don't work on that they want to work on. So the nice thing is they're all super willing and like looking for this. And so I might try to adapt some of this and see if I can walk them through it just because I know they're looking for it. And
Yeah, and even being prepared for people not to show up and not do it too. Like the first time I did a mindful movement workshop at the gym, I had 2 people show up. And that always happens. People don't want to do new things. When we added the mindful movement virtual classes, people were like, yeah, let my payment run, but I'm not doing your online stuff. So I think they participated just because we begged them to. And then as soon as they did it, that was perfect. Thank you. Because people really do need this right now.
how long does it take for this type of class, not the virtual version, but like even this type of class to really catch on with the folks? Because we have a lot of people who say it, but not a lot of follow through. And so I'm just kind of wondering, like, how long did it take for people to come around?
I hadn't done it in person. I had only done it with people one-on-one. So after our meditation challenge that ended in August, I had a big group because it was part of our meditation challenge. And then after that, I saw individual people for free, like 10 of them. So I just practiced on them. They all loved it. And then right when we were going to do this, like on a weekly basis, that's when the pandemic started happening. So yeah, we never actually got to do it in person. But I'm hoping I get a core group in this online thing. And then now I at least have people who advocate for it once we move to in person again. Cool, guys.
Thank you so much, Lucy.
Well, thank you all. Yeah, so just
Thank
sign up
you.
online, and
Thank you so much.
eventually I'll have these like exercises videoed. I still don't know what the right way to deliver this without live in person or live here. Because people need coaching. I don't like reps. Like that's one thing that I don't like is saying 5 more, because by the time Ryan does 5, Lacey will do 1. So, in order to really be honed in on your body, you really just need to pay attention. So if I do 3 more, like, oh shit, I need to hurry up. So I still haven't figured out how to deliver it if people miss it or like to rewatch or something. So once I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So, well, I will see you all next week if you all want.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.